The mothership Poseidon's Reach rose and fell with the long, measured breathing of the Pacific. Her hull was a floating city of industrial purpose, anchored where the continental shelf surrendered to the abyss.
The machinery represented decades of deep ocean engineering, winches with the force of jet engines.
The team's mission? Locate a freighter lost in 1943. Its cargo manifest had remained classified for 8 decades. The freighter went down in a once-in-a-century storm. She settled at 4,200 meters, in the absolute darkness of the abyssal zone.
The crew performed their checks 10,000 times. Mechanical failure at depth meant death in microseconds.
The lifting collar would secure the vault. Each clamp could withstand forces that would tear steel.
Submersible began her controlled fall into a void, unchanged since the planet cooled.
The pressure hull spoke with sounds like distant wails as they fell through layers of lethal pressure.
They descended through marine snow, the constant precipitation of life from above, building the seafloor over centuries. The seafloor approached, a landscape that had known only darkness and immense pressure for millennia. The wreck appeared first on sonar, a darkness within darkness, the geometric certainty of human manufacture. 82 years of immersion transformed her. Steel became hybrid with biology, glowing with ghostly light.
The cargo hold containing the vault showed a 2-meter breach, an opening just sufficient for their tools.
Scans confirmed the vault's location. A dense mass of steel, approximately 400 kilograms empty. The manipulator arms reached into the past with mechanical precision, despite the crushing pressure outside.
The work proceeded with archaeological slowness. Each burst of water was a calculated risk.
After 47 minutes, the vault was accessible. It shifted, proving it was not welded down. The collar locked with absolute certainty. 4 points of contact, securing history to a cable. The first connection was made. The tether would guide the ship's primary cable to this exact spot. The ascent began. A 99-minute climb back toward light, leaving the vault waiting in the dark.
On the surface, the primary cable began its own descent, a lifeline of incredible strength, racing to the seafloor.
A specialized robot descended with the cable, its sole purpose to make the final, critical connection. 17 minutes of delicate manipulation in total darkness. One error could doom the recovery. On the ship, the winch operator received the signal. The 6-hour ascent of the vault began. The vault broke free. After 82 years, it was moving again, through water that had not stirred in millennia.
The team monitored every metric: cable tension, winch temperature, an approaching storm 800 kilometers away.
Just after sunset, the vault broke surface. It returned to a world of wind and light, leaving stillness behind.
The A-frame delivered its prize. The vault sat on the examination platform, an artifact from another world.
Marine organisms had colonized every surface. Corrosion created patterns like topographic maps of an alien planet.
The conservation team began the weeks-long process. Their first task: remove 8 to 2 years of marine accumulation.
High-pressure water revealed markings, a serial number, a shipping designation from a port that no longer exists.
The manufacturer's plate emerged. January 1943. The vault was built as the world burned. The main lock was fused solid, but there was an emergency panel, secured by bolts now frozen by corrosion.
They used a thermal lance, heating each bolt just enough to expand it without damaging what lay inside.
The first bolt broke free with a sound like breaking bone, a thread releasing after 82 years. The panel came free. From the interior came a hiss of residual gas and an indescribable smell.
The gold appeared first. Ingots stacked neatly, their surfaces tarnished but their substance eternal.
47 bars, approximately 42 kilograms of .999 fine gold. A fortune, then and now.
From another compartment, diamonds mixed with sediment. Even covered in muck, they caught the light with an inner fire. 8,000 carats of uncut diamonds. Effectively indestructible, they survived what everything else could not.
Then, the watches, the pinnacle of pre-war Swiss craftsmanship, each a tiny machine frozen in time.
A Vacheron Constant minute repeater showed 11:43. Its chiming mechanism, silent for decades, might yet ring again.
Personal jewelry, unmarked platinum, sealed documents reduced to pulp. Each item a fragment of a story.
The work continued through the night, a meticulous cataloging of history, rescued from the deep.
Each gold bar bore assay marks: London, Brussels, Paris. A snapshot of European wealth in chaotic flight.
As dawn approached, the preliminary examination was complete. The artifacts were secured for their next journey. The mission specialist watched the dawn. The ocean kept its remaining secrets, but one had been revealed. They had reached into an environment hostile to life and retrieved what was lost. A victory of In the Schiphol lab, the real work began. Restoration would take months, starting with the most fragile pieces. Each gold bar was weighed and measured, standard pre-war banking weights, a silent testament to vanished financial systems.
The diamonds revealed their true nature under light. Raw potential, waiting for a cutter's hand it never found in 1943.
The mission specialists studied the aftermath. Their work was done, but the wreck's story was not over.
The vault, now empty, was prepared for transport. Its value had shifted from contents to container, a relic.
With the recovery complete, Poseidon's Reach turned her bow. Her purpose fulfilled, she began the long journey home.
The personal items held the most haunting questions. Whose ring was this? What family did the crest represent?
The document recovery was the greatest challenge. Paper reduced to a semi-liquid state, holding secrets in suspension.
The days at sea after the recovery were quiet, a time for processing not just artifacts, but the weight of the endeavor.
It had started with a ghost on a sonar screen 3 years prior, a shadow that refused to be ignored. Operation Ledger, successful.
The official report was sent. One sentence that represented years of work, writ.
From the document pulp, words emerged. German banking terms. The first direct linguistic link to the vault's origin. For the pilots, the memory of the descent into absolute darkness would remain. The stars above felt different now.
The first sign of life in a frozen mechanism. A single gear moved, a heartbeat after 80 years of silence. Each diamond was logged and photographed. Their provenance was a mystery, but their journey was now meticulously recorded.
The clients were notified. The insurance firms that had paid out in 1947 would see a return on a decades-old loss.
After weeks at sea, land appeared. The mission was over, but a new chapter of analysis and legal process was about to begin.
Bridge, all secure. Crane 40 clearing the first unit.
Roger that. Bring it to the staging area.
The treasures left the ship under heavy guard. Their value now required protection, not from the ocean, but from the world. The team dispersed. They would be bound forever by what they had done together in the silent dark. The gold found a new vault, climate-controlled, insured, and logged, a far cry from a corroded hold under 4,000 meters of water. In a specialist workshop, the watches began their rebirth, each component cleaned, each jewel inspected, each spring tested.
The world learned of the recovery, a story of technology and treasure that captured the imagination for a news cycle. For the mission specialist, the achievement was bittersweet. The chase was over. The quiet of his study felt unfamiliar.
The search for heirs was a detective story through faded records, through borders that had shifted and names that had changed.
A year later, the first watches were ready for auction. Provenance, recovered from the depths of the Pacific, 1943.
The auction was a frenzy. The story added immeasurable value. These were not just watches, they were survivors.
A record price for a Patek Philippe. The new owner owned not just a timepiece, but a moment frozen in history.
The largest diamonds went to master cutters. The first cut was a moment of faith, transforming a rough stone into legacy.
The vault found its final home in a museum, a centerpiece exhibit telling a story of loss, technology, and recovery.
For the heirs, it was closure, a tangible piece of a past they had only heard about in whispers.
The specialist still walked the coast. The ocean's surface gave nothing away. He knew the secrets it still kept.
The biological samples yielded their own treasure.
New species adapted to life.
Steal life on
The technology evolved. Lessons from the recovery were baked into the next generation of deep-sea vehicles. The captain retired to a quiet life by a different sea. His model was a tribute to the ship he had helped find.
A memorial was held for the crew of the freighter, who had no grave but the ocean itself. The knowledge was passed on, how to hold steady in the crushing dark, how to be a human hand 4 kilometers down. The recovery inspired art, the strange beauty of deep-sea corrosion translated into glass, light, and form.
The mothership was never idle. New coordinates, new depths, new mysteries called from the unseen world below.
For the public, it was a tale of adventure and treasure. For the child, it was a promise.
The ocean returned to stillness.
It kept its remaining secrets. A silent...
The conserved documents began to speak. Names, amounts, dates, a fragmentary ledger of desperation and hope.
The ring's heir filled in the story. Her grandfather, a banker, had arranged the shipment but did not survive the war.
Each diamond received a new identity, a laser-inscribed certificate number, linking it forever to its incredible journey.
She found a new purpose, telling the story, not just of the recovery, but of the ocean's vast, untold archive.
For the insurers, it closed a ledger, literally and figuratively. A rare instance of a paid claim yielding a return.
Science gained from the intrusion. The vault had become an accidental experiment in deep-sea colonization.
The virtual could simulate the pressure, the darkness, the instruments, but not the weight of history in the water.
Artists were drawn to the textures, the contrast of precision machinery and organic decay, of value and ruin.
The platinum held its secret. No stamps, no assay marks. Pure elemental value, stripped of identity.
The conservators spoke of the patience required, of listening to the objects, of letting them guide the process.
The diamond found its stage. Its fire born in the earth, tempered in the abyss, now reflecting ballroom light.
The mission's legacy extended beyond treasure. It inspired new investment in understanding the deep ocean.
The next generation was already on the drawing board. The drive to go deeper, to see more, was insatiable.
The legal process wound down. Most of the past had no one left to speak for it. The silence was its own answer.
We remember the treasure, the technology. But it began with a storm. With wind.
In mission control, that moment was pure tension. Years of work focused on a grainy image in the dark.
The recovery was immortalized in a tome, a permanent record of objects and the obsessive human drive to retrieve them.
The captain's model was his meditation. A contained world, a story held in glass, unlike the vast, unruly ocean.
The recovery changed the field. It set a new standard for care, for seeing every wreck as a time capsule, not just a target.
Perspective is everything. For one visitor, the vault was a coffin for hope, a final, unanswered prayer.
It started with a ping, a sound echoing off steel in the dark, heard by a man who knew how to listen.
The mothership's cycle continued. New depths, new searches. The ocean's secrets are infinite, the human reach ever extending.
And time, which had stopped, began again.
Every datum was preserved. A digital tombstone for the mission, accessible to future historians and engineers.
The formalities required his presence across continents. Meetings in Zurich, London, New York. The treasure's new paper trail.
The gold was refined. Its history couldn't be melted away, but its form was standardized for the modern market.
It entered the financial bloodstream. Its atoms were no different, but its story made it unique among billions.
The legal file was closed. A thick folder of contracts, verifications, and waivers. And
the new submersible saw wonders its predecessor never could. The technology had already moved on, hungry for new mysteries.
Some treasures were meant to be worn, not stored. To feel the weight of history on your skin, to continue its story.
The wreck became a teaching tool, a case study in deep-sea archaeology, ethics, and the technology that enables it.
She accepted the award for the team, for the patience, the skill, the collective will that turned a dream into catalogued reality.
He sought echoes of that otherworldly beauty in captivity. It was a pale imitation, but it stirred the memory.
Some of the wealth returned to the sea, in a way, funding the study and protection of the very environment that hid it.
The call of the hunt remained. Different ocean, different era, same fundamental urge to find, to understand, to recover.
The mission entered popular culture. A puzzle to be solved in pixels, stripping away the risk but capturing the challenge.
They kept time until time abandoned them. Artists found meaning in the mechanics.
Life continued, marked by simple, tangible skills. A knot secured a line, not a submersible, but the principle was the same.
Even the sediment had a story to tell, a core sample of time, with the wreck as a precise marker in the geological record.
It had begun with a signature, a gamble of capital on a ghost in the data, a bet that paid off. Financial success sparked a mini boom. Capital flowed to companies building better eyes and hands for the deep.
The ghost on the screen was joined by the faces of those who made it real.
The ship herself required care. She was a tool, but one that carried the scars and memories of countless missions.
The watch was set to modern time. Its intricate brain began calculating the correct date again, bridging the gap.
The knowledge was shared, a new fingerprint for sonar operators to look for, increasing everyone's chance of discovery.
It was always about value. Tangible and intangible, historical and immediate, resting side by side on the same page. Every epic has a humble beginning, a blip, a question. The courage to believe the question was worth answering.
Beyond the vault, smaller recoveries told quieter stories. The mundane possessions of men who lived and died at sea.
He sought stillness without pressure, the opposite of the abyss. Sunlight, fresh water, and the certainty of a visible bottom.
At the microscopic level, the vault hosted intour civilizations.
Some things remain precarious.
Rư san chấm nồng sụp thèn, cầm pháo hàng khâu mà cả áo cùi, lần cơ mơ tàn phịp chèn, sáng nguồn chọt phú hồn nhị.
The ocean could be viewed as a challenge or as a panorama. She learned, after the fact, to see the panorama.
Not every artifact was kept. Some items were just tools, their purpose served, returning to obscurity. The moment of recovery became iconic, a symbol of human triumph, often stripped of the years of effort that preceded it. The seafloor, once an anonymous blank, became a map with familiar landmarks, a place he had been, if only by proxy.
The heirloom found its next keeper. Its journey from a banker's hand to the abyss.
We scour the ocean depths for past treasures, while ignoring the living treasure we're destroying.
The work was never truly done. Conservation was an act of extended caretaking. A fight against time resumed.
The story was passed down, simplified, mythologized. A father's work became a son's bedtime adventure.
And so it ticked, in a room filled with silent, digital clocks.
Most who cross this spot will never know what lies beneath. The ocean's secrets are revealed only.
vault found its audience. It stood as a silent teacher, a conversation starter, a monument to a singular human effort.
He traded the purposeful ping for random melody. Both were music, one for finding, one for simply being.
The tools kept evolving. The search never ends. Each answer begets new questions, new ghosts in the data to chase.
The past became personal. Then it became pedagogical. A family story intertwined with the grand narrative of history.
He kept his piece of the deep. Not gold, but transformed steel. A captured fragment of pressure, time, and salt. The cycle continued. A new team, a new set of coordinates. The same ancient hunger to see what lies in the dark.
In the beginning and in the end there is darkness.